Hey guys, it's Melissa from White Castle with Books, and today I'm going to be doing the BOOKTUBE Newbie Tag. So I'm just going to get right into the questions. Why did you start a BOOKTUBE channel? It was kind of inspired by my sister-in-law, who also has a BOOKTUBE channel, and I started watching all of the videos and got really excited about the community. Part of the reason is because I travel on the road with my husband and my two little kids. We move every couple of months generally, and so we're not going to be able to build a good community in the places that we stay in, and so I thought it would be an awesome opportunity for me to build a community of people online and a support group online that comes with me basically everywhere I go. So that was one of the reasons. The other reason is because I want to gain the insights from the opinions online of all of these amazing booktubers and the community of people who watch BookTube. I'm also an aspiring writer, so understanding what is important to people in a book and what makes a great book or what makes a not so great book is going to be essential for me as well. So I'm really excited to gain that from the community, and that was another reason that I started a BookTube channel. I'm struggling with my lighting. It's like right, I can't figure out how to, maybe if I do that? No. The second question that I decided to do was, what is the meaning behind your name? And the name of my channel is White Castle with Books. The meaning behind that is we live in a little trailer, and I was having a hard time with that. I was kind of struggling with just how difficult it is to have two little kids in a small space, and I noticed that our trailer is quite drafty, and I just thought, well, I'm going to compare that to a castle, and I'm going to call our trailer the Little White Castle because it kind of puts a positive light on it. It makes me feel just happier about living in a trailer, so I call our trailer the Little White Castle with books because even though we have a small space, we're going to have a lot of books in this small space because they're extremely important to me and also my husband, and I want them to be important to our children. So even though we live in a tiny space, we have a lot of books, thus White Castle with Books. Alright, the third question is, what can I bring to BookTube? And pretty much every video that I saw online was people would just say, well, I'm unique, everybody's unique, and we can all bring something special to BookTube, and I really believe that. There is a really loud truck outside. One of the things that I feel is unique about me is that I am absolutely fascinated with human interaction, human behavior, and relationships, up to the point where I study body language, and I study handwriting, and I study behaviors of people and why they do what they do and their interactions with each other. And I would love to be able to read books and kind of analyze what works and what doesn't work in books that way and bring that aspect out, especially because I am an aspiring writer. I feel like it's very critical to understand people and their behaviors in order to become these characters and to portray the emotions that each individual character would have. I also feel like my situation is a little bit unique because I'm going to be on the road a lot traveling, so I want to kind of bring into my channel just a little bit the struggles or challenges that we face and the positive aspects of traveling on the road, and how I find time to read to myself and read to my children, all while living in a small space and not having a lot of conveniences. I think that that will be something that's unique that I can bring to BookTube. The next question is, what am I most excited about to gain from BookTube? I think that it's kind of what I said at the beginning. The first question is just having a community that I can have anywhere I go, no matter what. And I feel like it'll be a positive support group that I can turn to when I'm struggling with being far away from my family and where we originally from, which is Utah. And I think it'll be just an extra help for me to get through this time as we travel. Kind of one of the reasons that we're doing this is we have purchased a piece of land back in Utah that we want to eventually build on. And so it's like our little dream piece of land. I call it my little kingdom that I eventually will live on. And that helps me as well. And again, just the fact that I know I will gain so much insight from everybody's posts and their comments about what works for them with books and what doesn't work for them, to improve my own writing and my ability to analyze books and learning what people love about books, learning what works for you and what works and what doesn't work for you in a book. I feel like that's essential for writing books as well, and it will also help me select books, and it will just benefit me to be able to have you guys' opinions on what books might work for me and gain your insight from books you have read. Question number 5 is, why do you love to read? And I think this is kind of hard to pinpoint. I think it's just, I just love it because of the emotional journey that reading can take you on, and the people that you get to meet and the places you get to go, all in the comfort of your home and at the expense of just a little book. I kind of like to think of a book as the most compact way to contain a world. So you have this tiny little item and you can take it anywhere with you, and you can gain so much value from it, and I love that feeling. I also love to get to know the people and the characters in the books. I have an extremely vivid imagination, and so for me it's almost like watching a movie in a sense. I can sit there and visualize everything that's happening, but books are so much more complete than movies, and so it's just an absolutely amazing experience, and you really can't find it anywhere else. Question number 6 is, what do you feel the biggest challenges will be with starting a channel? And if this is just pertaining to starting a channel, I think that the biggest challenge is just the learning curve of editing videos and getting things going, learning how to record well and upload and have quality videos. I think that will be my biggest challenge, finding the time to record while my kids are distracted or asleep, and then finding the time to edit videos and upload them. But once I get going with that, I think I will probably come across different challenges along my journey with my YouTube channel, but I'm kind of excited about that as well. So I think mostly it'll just be kind of getting it going. Question number 7 is, what series got you into reading? And for me, this is actually not a book or a series, but the fact that when we were younger, my mom would sit and read to us for hours, and I just have really positive, uplifting memories of listening to her voice and creating all of these images and characters in my mind as she was reading to us. That's probably the thing that really ingrained my love for reading. But if I was just going to say one series that was kind of what got me reading on my own, it would be the Ranger's Apprentice series. I love archery, and I love just everything about those books, the adventure and the characters and the growth of the characters. So that would be my answer on that. Question number 8 is, when did I start reading? Once again, this is kind of back to my mom reading to us. I don't remember when I started just reading on my own, but I was kind of a late bloomer when it comes to reading a whole ton. And I still kind of seem to go in spurts right now. I'm kind of a binge reader because I know if I pick up a book, I basically just have to finish it as soon as I can. And so I tend to binge read a whole bunch and then take a little time off. So I've always sort of done that, but I was definitely quite young when reading was important to me. Question number 9 is, where do I read now? And usually I read on our couch. I have a little corner of our couch that's mine, but it's also technically my bed because we sleep on the couch folded out at night. So I read on the couch and in bed most of the time. Okay, question number 10 is, what do you read? I really am just open to read about anything other than I can't handle horror or thrillers. I'm not really into that kind of stuff, but I love fantasy and I love sci-fi and I love historical novels, and I absolutely love self-help books as well. So I read a lot of nonfiction, and I read to my children a lot, so we read a lot of children's books, which is also a lot of fun. That never gets old. Probably if I was going to pick my favorite genre, it would be fantasy books. For me, that's kind of just like the treat of reading, is to be able to escape to a new world and to meet new creatures and new ways of doing things, new technology, anything like that. I absolutely love just going somewhere that you can't visit on Earth. So fantasy is my top genre. Alright you guys, that is it for this BookTube Newbie Tag. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and if you would like to, you can subscribe to my channel. I love hearing comments, tips, any ideas for future videos, so please leave comments in the comment section below, and I'll see you in my next video. How is Mama supposed to work, Thomas? Huh? What are you gonna do? I'm trying to work on my channel.